Welcome to Sleepy Food Lore, a quiet little place where ordinary foods turn into gentle, unhurried stories you can fall asleep to. Tonight, the story belongs to something small and humble, something that hides in the ground and somehow finds its way onto nearly every plate in the world: the potato. If you like, you can get comfortable now. Let your shoulders sink a little deeper into whatever is holding you. Let your hands unclench. Your jaw can soften. Your eyes do not need to stay open for this. Nothing in this video needs to be watched closely. Nothing needs to be remembered. These words to hear like a gentle background murmur, the way rain sounds behind a window, or the low hum of a distant train at night. Sleepy Food Lore is a place for that kind of listening, loose, unfocused, unhurried. Each episode takes one familiar food and moves around it slowly, the way you might walk around a tree, noticing its trunk, its leaves, its roots, its shade. There is history, and there is science, and there are stories from different cultures. But none of it is a test. None of it is homework. You are not expected to keep up. Tonight's quiet companion is the potato, a nubbly, earthy little tuber that has traveled from Andean mountain terraces to nearly every kitchen on Earth. It doesn't look like much at first, just a brown lump of soil and starch. But potatoes have quietly fed armies, held families together during hard winters, changed entire populations, and become the base for some of the simplest, most comforting foods people know. Mashed potatoes on the side of a plate, chips hot from the oil, potatoes baked until their skins crackle and their insides turn to soft clouds. There's something deeply reassuring about a potato. It is not glamorous. It does not ask for attention. It waits quietly in a cool, dark place until someone is ready for it. It can be peeled or not, cut or left whole, roasted, boiled, steamed, fried, turned into soup, or tucked into stews and pies. It belongs just as easily to a grand feast as it does to a plain weekday dinner eaten in silence. Simple foods like this can feel like anchors. They do not change quickly. They taste the same in childhood and in old age. They follow us across houses and cities and years, always ready to fill a corner of the plate and a corner of the heart. Potatoes are like that, steady, modest, reliable. They show up beside roast dinners, in school lunches, in late-night snacks, in hospital trays, in celebration meals, and in quiet meals for one. This narration is meant to be listened to the way you might listen to the softest part of a lullaby. You don't have to catch every word. You don't have to picture every scene. If your mind wanders, that's welcome. If you lose the thread of the story, that's exactly right. The story will keep going without you. When you return, it will still be there, like a pot of potatoes simmering gently on the stove, waiting without complaint. So there is no need to try, no need to focus. You are invited simply to rest, to let your breathing lengthen, your thoughts slow, and your body gradually release the day. The potato will carry the story. It will guide us through its long journey from high mountain fields to crowded markets, from hunger and hardship to comfort and familiarity. But you do not need to walk every step. If sleep comes while we are still at the beginning, that is all right. If you drift in and out, hearing only fragments, earth, warmth, harvest, home, that is enough. This is not a story that needs an ending. It is just a soft circle you can step into for a while. So, settle in. Feel the support beneath you. Let your eyes grow heavy if they wish. Let the day slip quietly to the edge of your awareness. And somewhere, in the distance of imagination, picture a single potato resting in the dark, under the soil, safe, hidden, waiting. Our story begins there, and you are welcome to follow it for as long as you are awake, or to fall asleep and let the potato keep watch for you until morning. The story of the potato begins high above sea level, in the thin air and slanting light of the Andes. Long before it ever met butter, oil, or salt, the potato was a mountain plant, clinging to steep slopes where the nights were cold and the days were bright. There, among rocky terraces and woven fields, indigenous farmers learned how to live with a crop that slept under the soil and woke in its own slow time, quietly storing the energy of sun and earth inside its starchy flesh. These farmers, ancestors of the Quechua, Aymara, and other Andean peoples, did not simply stumble across potatoes once and move on. They observed, patiently, over generations. They noticed which wild tubers were bitter and which could be eaten. They learned that some needed special preparation to become safe. Others could be cooked more simply. Gradually, they selected and replanted, turning wild plants into companions. What grew in those high fields were not just one kind of potato, but many, small and round, long and finger-like, purple, yellow, red, speckled, flowery, waxy. Each variety had a place in the landscape and in the kitchen. In those early Andean gardens, potatoes shared space with maize, quinoa, beans, and herbs, each crop holding a different piece of survival. Potatoes were the deep, quiet ones. They lived mostly out of sight, beneath the soil, safe from sudden storms or grazing animals. When frost burned the leaves above, the life of the plant continued below, tucked inside the tuber. For communities living close to the edge of cold and altitude, this hidden resilience made potatoes very precious. There was a sacredness to them too. In many Andean traditions, the land itself is alive, mountains regarded as protective beings, the earth as a mother. Potatoes, buried in that living soil, were gifts from this Mother Earth, Pachamama. Planting and harvesting were not just tasks, they were rituals. People would make small offerings before digging or sowing. A sip of shisha poured onto the ground, a few coca leaves, a murmured prayer. The first potatoes of the season might be cooked and shared in simple, solemn meals that acknowledged gratitude more than appetite. The growing cycle of potatoes suited the rhythm of highland life. Seed tubers went into the ground with the onset of the rainy season. Sprouts pushed up like curious fingers, unfurling leaves that drank in the short, bright days. The plants flowered, small and showy, while underground, new tubers slowly swelled. From the surface, the change was almost invisible. Above, only stems and leaves. Below, a quiet multiplication of food. Then, when the foliage yellowed and died back, people read the signs like a calendar. It was time to dig. Harvesting potatoes is a particularly tactile process. Hands and simple tools loosen the soil. One plant after another was lifted, revealing clusters of tubers, some large and smooth, others small and knobbly. Children could help with this work, learning to recognize varieties by touch and color. The field, once green, became a place of scattered earthy treasures drying gently in the sun before being collected. Because life in the Andes demanded planning, storage methods for potatoes became sophisticated. Fresh potatoes could be eaten straight away, of course, boiled, roasted in earth ovens, baked in hot ashes. But to carry families through dry seasons and harsh winters, longer-lasting forms were needed. One of the most remarkable inventions was chuno, potatoes left out to freeze in the frigid night air, then thawed and pressed underfoot during the day to squeeze out water, then frozen again and again over several cycles. The result was a dried, light, almost rock-hard potato that could last for years. Rehydrated in soups and stews, chuno became a kind of edible insurance policy against famine. There were other forms of preservation as well. Sliced potatoes dried in high, dry winds, stored in clay jars or woven bags. Different varieties reserved for different purposes. Some are ideal for boiling and mashing. Others held their shape in stews. Some had a pleasing sweetness after slow cooking. Others brought a slight bitterness that balanced rich sauces. The diversity of early potato varieties was so great that one Andean field might contain dozens, each with a name, a story, a preferred soil, a particular place in the ceremonial calendar. Potatoes were valued not simply because they filled the stomach, but because they did so reliably in a difficult environment. At high altitudes, with rocky soil and unpredictable weather, other crops could fail without warning. Corn might be stunted by cold. Grains could be flattened by storms. But potatoes tucked under earth had a better chance. They needed less water once established. They tolerated chill. They did not require complex tools to harvest. In this way, they offered a sense of security, a quiet promise that, even if other things went wrong, there would be something to eat. There's a kind of comfort in knowing that your food is hidden, safe, and waiting. For Andean farmers, potatoes provided that comfort. Terraced hillsides, green and brown in patches, were not just beautiful, they were living storage of future meals. Children growing up in those communities learned early that the soil under their feet held supper, winter food, and offerings for ceremonies. In some places, particular potato dishes were linked with particular moments in life. A simple soup of potatoes and herbs might accompany rites of passage. Shared bowls of tubers roasted in earth ovens could mark the end of harvest, when the community paused to rest and to honor the land. Even today, in parts of the Andes, festivals and family gatherings still center around old potato varieties whose names carry echoes of ancestors and places long gone. When you think about a potato now, perhaps wrapped in foil in a modern oven, or sliced into chips, or mashed with butter, there is a long, unbroken thread stretching back to those terraced fields and careful hands. Behind the ordinary appearance lies centuries of selection and care. Behind the comfort lies a history of survival. Potatoes mattered because they were dependable, because they fitted the land and the people who tended them, and because they turned harsh mountainsides into homes. As you listen and perhaps begin to drift, you might picture one of those early fields at dusk, ridges stepping up a mountain, plants low to the ground, villagers walking slowly home with baskets on their backs. Above, the sky cools and fades. Below, under the soil, potatoes rest in the dark, storing quiet energy, waiting for the day they are needed. Potatoes did not begin their life in European gardens. They crossed the ocean as strangers, carried from the Andes to the courts and ports of the Old World in the wake of Spanish conquest in the 16th century. At first, they were curiosities, objects of interest more than true foods. Tubers with odd shapes and unfamiliar leaves, grown in small plots near monasteries, botanical gardens, and great houses rather than in the everyday fields of peasants. In Spain and later in Italy, potatoes appeared tentatively. They were sometimes grown as ornamental or medicinal plants, their relation to nightshade and other toxic species making people cautious. A plant from a new world, related to deadly belladonna, many looked at these knobbly brown tubers with suspicion. Some believed they were fit only for animals or for the very desperate. Others thought they might cause illness or leprosy, simply because they were strange and untested. For a long time, bread remained the unquestioned staple, and grain the measure of security. Wheat, rye, and barley fields made sense to people. Potatoes did not. When early attempts were made to grow them in Europe, they were often planted in the wrong seasons, in unsuitable soils, or prepared poorly. Leaves might be eaten instead of tubers. Rotten specimens might be tasted and rejected. Fear clung to them, not just as plants from elsewhere, but as things that hid underground, unseen. Yet slowly, almost quietly, potatoes began to prove themselves. Monasteries and experimental farms tended them more carefully, observing their behavior across seasons. It became clear that in many regions, potatoes could succeed where grain failed. They tolerated damp, cool climates. They yielded well even when weather was unkind. They could produce a great deal of food from a relatively small plot. In a world where famine was never far from memory, this mattered more than prejudice. In parts of Germany and Central Europe, some rulers actively encouraged or even ordered peasants to plant potatoes. Stories tell of fields being guarded, not to keep people out, but to create a sense of value and curiosity, tempting villagers to steal the new crop and try it for themselves. Whether or not every detail of these tales is exact, the broader truth is that potatoes needed champions, people willing to treat them as serious food rather than mere botanical experiment. France, too, moved from suspicion to acceptance. Early on, the potato was viewed with doubt in French fields and kitchens, but over time, practical experience won out. As harvests failed and bread became scarce, potatoes stepped in to fill the gap. In some places, they flourished so reliably that they changed the pattern of daily meals, thickening soups, stealing space from older root vegetables, and appearing beneath roasts that once had only bread beside them. Ireland's relationship with the potato grew especially deep. The cool, rainy climate suited the crop well, and soils that might not have favored fine wheat could still produce generous potato harvests. Families found that small plots, even poor land, could support many mouths when planted with potatoes. Tubers became the mainstay for peasants, eating them boiled, steamed, or mashed, sometimes with little more than milk or buttermilk alongside. Over time, dependence grew. The potato turned from helpful newcomer into the central pillar of survival for the poorest households. Across Europe, peasants gradually made potatoes their own. In small cottages, they were boiled in iron pots over open fires, skins bursting and splitting, steam scenting the low rooms. They were mashed into simple dishes, sliced into soups, or cooked in embers at the edge of the hearth. In many families, a pot of potatoes became the entire meal, perhaps with a little salt, a scrap of fat, a single onion, or some cabbage. Yet even in such simplicity, they brought fullness and warmth. Monasteries and estates saw their practicality as well. Potatoes fed not only monks but livestock, turning rough feed and kitchen scraps into something more sustaining. On farms, they slotted into crop rotations, preparing soil for grains and leaving the earth in better condition than before. Root cellars and storage pits filled with piles of tubers, stacked in darkness, ready for the lean months. A well-filled potato store became a quiet reassurance, like a woolen blanket or a pile of firewood, because potatoes could be stored for months if kept cool and dry. They were ideal for bridging seasons. After grain stores dwindled and before new harvests came in, potatoes could still be there, wrinkling slightly perhaps, sprouting eyes that had to be cut away, but edible and nourishing. They turned the uncertain edges of the year into something more manageable, smoothing out the sharpest hunger. In times of war and upheaval, when armies trampled fields and burned barns, potatoes survived more often than crops above ground. Their habit of hiding under the soil made them less obvious to raiders. Even if houses were destroyed, people could sometimes return to dig for what was left in their plots. In this way, potatoes became known as a survival food, not merely in theory but in lived experience, something that remained when other resources had vanished. Gradually, suspicion gave way to familiarity. What began in Europe as a strange American plant, linked to dangerous nightshade cousins in foreign soils, turned into an everyday staple. Peasant kitchens, which had once leaned heavily on thin soups and coarse bread, grew used to the solid weight of boiled potatoes in wooden bowls. Monastic refectories and farmhouses alike saw them appear more often, their presence signaling a kind of quiet security. Of course, this reliance was double-edged, as later disasters such as the Irish potato famine would show. But in the centuries when potatoes spread, they were seen as saviors more than threats, a crop that could keep families alive through poor harvests and harsh winters. They were the food that did not demand much, just a piece of land, some rain, and a little care. If you imagine Europe in those years of transition, you might see fields changing shape. Grain still waves under sun, but new patches of green appear lower to the ground. Potato tops spreading in haphazard rows behind cottages and beside monastery walls. In kitchens, blackened pots hang over fires, lids rattling softly as tubers bump against each other. Children wait with bowls. Adults discuss harvests and weather, but underneath their words lies a quiet gratitude that, this year at least, the potatoes did well. From curiosity to suspicion, from suspicion to experiment, from experiment to staple, the potato's journey across Europe is one of gradual trust. It moved from the margins of gardens into the center of meals, from rare plant to daily bread's quiet companion, from foreign stranger to familiar friend in peasant kitchens and farm sheds. And even now, whenever a simple boiled potato appears on a plate, or mashed potatoes cushion a stew, there is some echo of that history, a reminder that this small, earthy tuber once had to earn its place, and that, once accepted, it became one of the gentlest survival foods people have ever known. Potatoes and survival, quiet keeping through hard seasons. When times grew thin and harvests faltered, potatoes became more than a crop. They became a kind of holding place, storing not just starch and nourishment, but hope itself, tucked safely under soil until hands could reach for it again. In Ireland, this relationship deepened most completely. By the late 18th century, Potatoes had woven themselves into the fabric of daily life, especially for tenant farmers and laborers who worked small plots of poor land. A single acre, planted carefully, could feed a family for a year. The crop asked little: damp soil, cool air, modest attention, and gave generously in return. Families learned its ways intimately. Which varieties resisted rut best, how deeply to plant, when exactly to lift the crop before rain turned fields to mud. Through ordinary winters, potatoes sustained. Dug through late autumn, they filled baskets and sacks. Children carried smaller ones home in aprons. Larger tubers went to storage. The work felt hopeful then, earth yielding food steadily as spades turned soil. Each basket represented days, weeks of meals ahead. Storage began immediately. Potatoes need darkness and chill to rest well. Simple root cellars appeared everywhere, dug into hillsides, built beneath cottage floors, lined with straw or sand. In these quiet underground rooms, potatoes piled in layers, separated by dry earth or leaves to prevent rot spreading. The air stayed cool and still. No light reached them. No warmth disturbed their sleep. A good cellar, well stocked, meant security through February, March, even into April. As winter deepened, those stores became lifelines. Breakfast might be cold-boiled potatoes from the previous day, eaten with a little salt or buttermilk if available. Lunch, the same, perhaps mashed roughly with a fork against the bowl. Supper repeated the pattern. 4 growing children, working adults, elderly parents. Potatoes filled the space where other foods had vanished. Milk, cabbage, a rare herring or egg appeared beside them when possible, but the tuber carried most of the burden. The meal stayed simple because they had to. A black iron pot went over the fire. Potatoes scrubbed or scraped, cut larger for adults, smaller for children. Water covered them just enough. Salt if there was any. Lid on. Wait. When skin split and water thickened with starch, they were ready. Drained, steaming, heaped into wooden bowls. Eaten with spoons or fingers from the shared dish. No ceremony, just sustenance, shared without needing words. Sometimes variation appeared. Calcannon blended cabbage or kale through mashed potatoes, green flecks in pale clouds. Boxed to mix grated raw potato with flour for thin pancakes cooked on griddles. Champ stirred spring onions through warm milk into mash. These were not luxuries but ways to stretch the same food further, to bring color or slight change to repetition. Potatoes fed more than stomachs. They fed possibility. A mother lifting the cellar trapdoor each morning knew exactly what remained. Half a sack, a quarter, nearly gone. That knowledge shaped the day. Children sent to dig a few more before school. Potatoes rationed carefully through Lent or before seed planting. The crop became calendar and conscience both. In other parts of Northern Europe, potatoes played similar roles. Prussia, Poland, Scandinavia, everywhere cold. Wet climates favored tubers over fickle grains. Russian peasants stored them in earthen pits lined with straw. German farm wives laid them between sand and barns. Each community found its own quiet arrangement with the crop, but the heart of it stayed constant. Potatoes as winter's faithful companion. Cellars held other roots too, turnips, parsnips, carrots, but potatoes dominated. Their bulk, their yield per plant, their keeping quality made them central. A single large tuber could become tomorrow's seed. Smaller ones filled bowls today. The mathematics felt reassuring. One plant, many meals. Families grew around this rhythm. Children learned young to test potatoes for rot by smell and softness. Older siblings dug while mothers cooked. Fathers built better storage pits. The work distributed itself naturally, each person carrying part of the season's weight. Potatoes became the center around which other decisions turned. When to plant, when to marry, when to travel. Even when variety ran thin, potatoes offered small mercies. Some varieties stayed firm when boiled, good for slicing cold into lunch. Others collapsed into perfect mash. Sprouted eyes could be cut away, planted come spring, or fed to pigs. No part went entirely to waste. The green skins that sometimes formed, slightly bitter, could be pared off, leaving good food beneath. Through ordinary hardship, late frosts, poor summers, lost livestock, potatoes generally held steady. They asked no plow horses, no complex tools beyond spade and knife. A widow with 2 children could manage a potato patch alone. An elderly couple could dig enough for their needs. The crop leveled hardships somewhat, giving poorest households a better chance than grain alone could offer. When years turned truly difficult, potatoes stretched furthest. Soup thickened with potato starch stretched further than clear broth. Mash mixed with wild greens or nettles fed more mouths. A single pig, fattened on potato peelings, yielded bacon through another season. The mathematics of survival shifted in potatoes' favor. This dependability created gratitude, even in simplicity. A pot of boiled potatoes, eaten from the same bowl, became family ceremony. Stories passed between bites. Songs hummed while peeling. Children watched steam rise, learning what full meant. The ordinary became sacred through repetition. Yet dependence carried shadow. When blight came, as it eventually would in Ireland, the single crop reliance proved fragile. But through ordinary winters, through decades of modest difficulty, potatoes were not curse but companion. The food that stayed when others could not, that filled bowls through darkness, that turned bare land into homes. If you picture a winter cottage now, low fire, single pot hanging, trapdoor to cellar beneath flagstones, you see survival made visible. The pot bubbles softly. Children wait. The door opens, bringing cold sacks. Another day passes. Another meal appears. Potatoes keep their quiet promise. Potato rituals in daily life. Hands in soil, hands in water. Potatoes enter human hands through a series of quiet rituals, each one repeated across generations, across kitchens, across seasons. These are not grand ceremonies, but small, steady gestures that connect earth to table, field to mouth, one day to the next. Harvesting begins with reading the land. When potato tops yellow and curl, when stems dry and rattle in the wind, the time has come. Spades turn soil gently, not hacking, but easing, letting earth fall away from pale tubers. Hands reach down, feeling for clusters hidden beneath each plant. Small ones go into aprons. Larger ones fill baskets. Children follow behind, gathering what falls, learning shapes and sizes by touch. The field empties above ground while abundance reveals itself below. This gathering happens slowly, one row after another, plant by plant. Some potatoes cling to soil, needing careful coaxing. Others roll free, ready for baskets. Sun dries clinging dirt through afternoon. By evening, baskets sit heavy beside cottage doors, promising meals through winter. Harvesting feels like discovery. Each plant hides its own quiet gift. Washing comes next, or sometimes not at all. Field fresh potatoes often cook with skins intact, earth-baked crisp in oven or pot. When washing happens, it's done simply. Cold water in basin or bucket, potatoes tumble through fingers. Mud clouds water brown, hands rub gently, feeling ridges and eyes release soil. Some varieties keep clean skins, pale and thin. Others wear thick jackets that scrubbing respects rather than removes. Water runs clear. Potatoes emerge humble, ordinary, ready. Peeling offers its own rhythm. Knife moves steadily around curves, revealing white flesh beneath brown skin. Some peel thickly, taking eyes and blemishes. Others pare thinly, leaving faint tracery of skin behind. Children learn on small potatoes first, practicing curves and hollows. The pile of skins grows on newspaper or newspaper substitute. The bowl of naked tubers rises beside. Peeling fills time between other tasks. Conversation flows, and thoughts wander. Not every potato meets the knife. New potatoes, small and tender from early summer digging, cook whole with skins paper thin. Baking potatoes keep jackets for crisp contrast against fluffy interiors. Only when rut threatens or bitterness gathers under skin does peeling become necessary. Most often, potatoes arrive at the pot as nature shaped them. Storing follows familiar patterns. Cool, dark places welcome them best. Root cellars receive largest baskets. Potatoes laid between straw or dry sand. Breathable covering of sacks or cloths above. Smaller households use garden sheds, insulated boxes beneath stairs, coolest pantry corners. Sprouting eyes get pinched off weekly. Soft spots cut away. Good potatoes shift position gently through months, finding their place among neighbors. A well-kept store feels like wealth stored in darkness. Cooking rituals vary little between houses. The black pot goes over fire or onto stove. Potatoes wash or not, cut or whole. Water covers by a hand's breadth. Salt scatters across surface. Lid settles. Heat builds beneath. The house fills with starch-thickened steam. Lids rattle softly. Children ask how much longer. The answer stays constant when skins split. Water thickens as starches escape. First potato yields, then others follow. Drain, lift, serve steaming into waiting bowls. Some nights bring variation. Kilkennan greens mash through pale clouds. Boxter grates raw potato into flour for griddle cakes. Champ swirls spring onion through warm milk. These change rhythm but not essence. Potato remains center, others dance attendance. Family meals circle this simplicity. Father at head of table. Children ranked by size. Mother serves from common pot. Spoons move steadily. Stories pass between bites. Quiet falls when hunger presses hardest. Fullness brings talk back. Potato skins pile at plate edges. The meal ends when bowls empty, pot scrapes. Farming rhythms bend around potatoes. Spring planting follows last frost. Small seed tubers go into hand-turned furrows. Hilling follows. Soil mounded around stems for support. Full whiteness for yield. Summer brings weeding, watching for Colorado beetles, testing soil moisture with probing fingers. Harvest marks autumn's turn. Storage fills winter. The circle completes as eyes sprout toward new planting. Seasonal habits mark potato time. Early summer brings new potatoes, small, thin-skinned, boiled with mint or parsley. Midsummer offers salad potatoes, waxy varieties holding shape in vinegar baths. Autumn delivers keepers, large bakers for mashing, roasting, filling. Winter serves stored tubers, patiently waiting through longest nights. Each season tastes its own potato. Sunday dinners elevate the ordinary. Roast chicken rests beside golden mash. Beef gravy pools around baked jackets. Lamb stew thickens with potato chunks. These lift potatoes without changing them. Starch still anchors. Comfort still centers. Children learn potato work early. Small hands dig. Younger fingers wash. Older ones peel. Test for doneness. Layer sellers. Mothers teach knife grip. Fathers show hilling. Grandparents remember varieties by name. Aaron Pilot, Desiree, Kerr's Pink. Knowledge passes through fingertips into muscle memory. Even peeling carries personality. Some peel in long spirals, knife circling steadily. Others work end to end, steady strokes. Left-handed peelers reverse direction. Children develop their own angles. The pile of skins grows regardless, testimony to hands at work. Leftovers transform quietly. Cold potatoes slice for frying. Mashed patties bind with egg for breakfast cakes. Baked skin stuff with cheese or tuna. Soup thickens with yesterday's boiled remnants. Nothing demands complexity. Everything extends yesterday's care. Through every gesture, spade lifting earth, water clouding basin, knife circling curves, pot steaming over flame, potatoes weave into daily life. Harvest fills hands with promise. Washing cleanses field work. Peeling reveals heart. Cooking transforms. Eating unites. Storing secures. One day flows into next, marked by potato rhythm. Children grow taller above the same baskets. Knives dull and sharpen. Cellars fill and empty. The work circles faithfully, year after year. Potatoes ask little, give steadily, wait patiently in the dark until needed. Picture now a winter kitchen, pot steaming, family gathered, bowls waiting. Steam carries starch sent through low rooms. Spoons lift portions. Silence falls companionably. Another day passes fed. Another night arrives safe. Potatoes keep their quiet vigil beneath. Cultural potato traditions. Irish potato heart. In Ireland, potatoes became more than food. They became the pulse of daily life, eaten morning, noon, and night by families who trusted them completely. Breakfast might be cold potatoes from yesterday, warmed with a little milk or eaten simply with salt. Dinner brought the main pot, large floury tubers boiled until skins burst, heaped into bowls with a splash of buttermilk or a scrap of butter if available. Supper repeated dinner or stretched leftovers into champ, green onion stirred through warm mash. Women ruled these potato rituals. Mothers and daughters peeled together in evening light, knives moving in companionable silence. The pot went over turf fire, black iron, heavy-lidded, steaming reliably. Children tested doneness by spearing with forks. The family gathered when steam thickened the air. Potatoes symbolized survival itself, reliable, humble, enough. A full pot meant the family would eat tomorrow. An empty cellar warned of thin days ahead. Carl Cannon for Samhain, Boxty for Shrove Tuesday, potatoes marked calendar and conscience both. German potato comfort. Germany welcomed potatoes into hearty kitchens where women spent winter afternoons peeling mountains of tubers for the evening Kartoffelsuppe. Potato soup enriched with bacon scraps, leaked from the garden, thickened naturally by starch. Sundays brought Kartoffelpüree beside Sauerbraten, golden clouds cradling rich gravy. Nodal appeared midweek. Potato dumplings poached gently, sliced to reveal steaming centers. Farm wives and grandmothers ruled these preparations. Peeling happened in stages, some potatoes for soup, some for mash, waxy ones reserved for salads. Storing filled autumn barns, sand-laid tubers in wooden bins, checked weekly for rut. Potatoes symbolized frugality made substantial. A potato bin well-stocked equaled wealth through winter. Bratkartoffeln, sliced fried potatoes with onion, became weeknight salvation, transforming yesterday's boiled tubers. Every region claimed perfect varieties. Linda for salads, Agria for chips, each kitchen swearing by its favorites. Eastern European potato soul. Across Poland, Ukraine, Russia, potatoes anchored every meal through long winters. Women rose early to start zupa ziemniaczana, potato soup with barley, carrots, eternal pot on back burner. Pierogi filled evenings, mashed potatoes stuffed into dough circles, boiled then pan-fried golden. Babka baked Sundays, grated potato mixed with eggs, onion, baked into hearty loaf. Grandmothers directed these rituals with quiet authority. Cellars held entire winter's worth. Potatoes layered with beets. Cabbage checked by lantern light. Preparation divided by task. Floury for mash and dumplings. Waxy for salads and soups. Potatoes symbolized endurance. A full cellar meant surviving another Russian winter. Empty bins brought anxiety. Kopika, potato gnocchi, fed children cheaply. Potato pancakes sustained field workers. Every babsia had secret variety, secret peeling technique, secret cooking time. Andean potato sacredness. High in the Andes, Quechua and Aymara women tend potatoes as sacred partnership with Pachamama. Locro de Papa simmers through highlands. Potatoes with cheese. Corn, archiote, slow cooked until melting together. Pachamanca gathers families. Potatoes buried with meats. Herbs in earth oven. Unearthed steaming hours later. Women plant, harvest, process chuno, freezing, trampling, drying potatoes into lightweight keepers. Varieties number in thousands. Some bitter needing long leaching, others sweet for immediate eating. Cooking happens communally. Women peeling together before festivals, children sorting by size. Potatoes symbolize Earth's generosity. First harvest feeds ancestors. Largest tubers become ceremony centerpieces. Chuno in clay pots means surviving the dry season. Every variety carries name, story, growing secret passed mother to daughter. Scandinavian potato faithfulness. Nordic kitchens embrace potatoes through long darkness. Sweden's potatisgratang layers thin potato slices with cream, onion, baked golden through oven's warmth. Norway's potetlefs grates boiled potatoes into soft flatbreads for butter, cheese. Denmark serves cold potato salad beside pickled herring, mayonnaise binding waxy cubes. Women rule these rituals still. Order market bags filled with specific varieties. Rat for gnocchi, Yukon Gold for gratans. Cellars beneath farmhouses hold sand bins. Check by headlamp. Cooking divides seasonally. New potatoes boiled with dill summer. Keepers mashed with winter milk. Potatoes symbolize hygge, comfort through darkness. A bubbling gratin means family gathering. Lefts rolled thin means grandmother's hands. Every fjord farm claims perfect potato plot, perfect cooking pot, perfect serving dish. Through Irish pots, German soups, Eastern European dumplings, Indian earth ovens, Scandinavian gratans, potatoes become regional heartbeat. Women peel, boil, mash, layer, stuff, bake. Cellars fill autumn, empty spring. Children learn knife grip, done as test, storage check. Each culture meets potato differently, yet the same essential truth emerges. Potatoes wait patiently. Hands find them. Fire transforms them. Families gather. Another day passes fed, warm, together. From Andean terraces to Irish cottages, potato rituals whisper saying the message across the hemispheres. Earth gives. Hands receive. Mouths remember. And now it is time for some potato recipes. The first one is perfect mashed potatoes. Find a heavy pot and fill it with cold water to about 1/3 full. Take 1 kilogram of flowery potatoes. King Edward, russet, or Maris Piper work beautifully. Choose ones that feel solid, not spongy. Wash them first under cold running water, rubbing gently with your fingers to remove soil from the skins. Now peel them carefully. Place the potatoes in the pot. Pour in more cold water to cover them by about 5 centimeters. Add 2 teaspoons of salt to the water. Then place the lid on loosely. Set the pot over medium heat. Let the water heat gradually. Watch the first bubbles appear at the edges, then across the surface. When the water reaches a gentle simmer, adjust the heat to maintain that soft bubbling, not a rolling boil, just a steady breathing from the pot. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Every 5 minutes, lift the lid gently. Poke the largest potato with a sharp knife. It should meet some resistance but slide in easily. If not, replace the lid and wait. When the knife glides smoothly through the largest potato, turn off the heat. Carefully pour the potatoes into a colander over the sink. Let them steam gently for 2 minutes. This extra time makes all the difference. While they steam, warm 100 ml of milk in a small saucepan. Add 50 grams of butter. Let it melt slowly, swirling occasionally. Do not boil the milk. Return the potatoes to the still warm pot. Let them air dry for 1 minute. Take a potato masher. Begin mashing the potatoes with steady, downward pressure. Work from the center outward, turning the pot as you go. Mash until no lumps remain. Pour the warm milk and butter mixture over the potatoes in a slow stream. Mash continuously as you pour. Taste. Add more salt if needed, perhaps half a teaspoon more. For extra smoothness, push the mash through a ricer or fine sieve. Spoon into a warm serving bowl. Dot the top with an extra teaspoon of butter. Cover loosely with foil. The mash waits patiently beside whatever main dish appears. It cradles gravy, holds sausages, softens stews. Leftovers form patties tomorrow, crisped in the pan. Crispy roast potatoes. Preheat your oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Find a large roasting tin, deep enough to hold plenty of fat, and put in the oven to get nice and hot. Take 1.5 kilograms of good roasting potatoes, Maris Piper or King Edward again. Wash them under cold water. Peel them carefully, removing the eyes and blemishes as you work. Place the peeled potatoes in a bowl of cold water as you finish each one. Cut the potatoes into even-sized pieces, about 5 centimeters across, halves for medium potatoes, quarters for large ones. Place them all in a cold water bowl. Let them sit for 10 minutes. This removes excess starch. Drain the potatoes into a colander. Give them a good shake to rough up the edges. These little rough bits become the crispest parts. Place a large pot on high heat. Pour in enough vegetable oil to cover the base by about half a centimeter, around 100 mils. Heat the oil until shimmering but not smoking. Carefully add the potatoes in a single layer. They will sizzle immediately. Let them cook undisturbed for 5 minutes until golden on one side. Turn each piece carefully with tongs. Cook for 5 minutes more. Transfer the half-cooked potatoes to the hot roasting tin using a slotted spoon. They should sizzle loudly on contact. Spoon a little more hot fat from the pot over them. Sprinkle with 1 teaspoon of salt. Place in the hot oven. Roast for 45 minutes. After 25 minutes, turn each potato carefully. Roast for 20 minutes more until deep golden and crunchy on the outside and fluffy within. Test one with a skewer. It should slide through easily. Drain briefly on kitchen paper if needed. Serve immediately in a heated dish. Simple potato soup. Find your heaviest soup pot. Place it over low heat. Measure 25 grams of butter into the pot. Let it melt slowly until it foams gently. Take 1 large onion. Peel it carefully. Slice it thinly into half rings. Add the sliced onion rings to the butter. Let them soften for 8 minutes, stirring occasionally with a wooden spoon. Do not brown them. While the onions cook, peel 800 grams of floury potatoes. Cut them into 2 centimeter chunks. Add the potatoes to the softened onions. Stir to coat with the butter. Let them warm through for 3 minutes. Pour in 1.2 liters of vegetable stock or chicken stock. Add 2 bay leaves and 2 sprigs of fresh thyme. Bring it to a gentle simmer. Place the lid on the pot, leaving a small gap for steam. Cook for 25 minutes at the barest simmer. Test a potato chunk with a knife. It should be completely tender. Remove the bay leaves and thyme sprigs. Take a stick blender and blend the soup until it's completely smooth. Add 150 ml of double cream or whole milk. Warm it through gently for 5 minutes. Taste and season with salt and white pepper. Ladle into warm bowls. Swirl a teaspoon of cream on top if desired, and enjoy with some crusty bread. Potato bread. Measure 500 grams of bread flour into a large mixing bowl. Add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Sprinkle 1/2 teaspoon of instant yeast evenly over the flour. Peel and grate 250 grams of cold-boiled potato. Yesterday's leftovers work perfectly. Squeeze out the excess moisture gently with your hands. Add this to the flour mixture. Pour in 300 ml of warm water and 30 ml of olive oil. Mix with a wooden spoon until a soft dough forms. Turn onto a lightly floured surface. Knead for 8 minutes until smooth and elastic. The potato makes it softer than usual bread dough. Place the dough in a lightly oiled bowl. Cover with a damp cloth. Let it rise for 1 hour until doubled in size. Knock back the dough gently. Then shape into a round loaf. Place the loaf on a parchment-lined baking tray. Cover it loosely with a tea towel. Let it rise for 45 minutes. Preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Slash the top of the loaf with a sharp knife. Bake it for 35 minutes until golden brown and hollow sounding when tapped. Cool on a wire rack. Slice the potato bread when it's completely cold. Potato pancakes. Peel 500 grams of starchy potatoes, and then grate them coarsely using the large holes of a box grater. Place the grated potato immediately in a bowl of cold water to prevent discoloring. Peel 1 small onion. Grate it finely into the same water. Let this sit for 10 minutes. Drain the potato and onion water through a clean tea towel. Gather the corners and squeeze it firmly over the sink. All the moisture must go, as the drier the potato and onion, the crisper the pancakes will be. Place the dried potato onion mixture in a clean bowl. Beat 2 eggs. Add the eggs to the potatoes. Sprinkle in 2 tablespoons of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and mix thoroughly. Heat 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil in a large frying pan over medium heat until shimmering. Drop 2 tablespoon portions into the hot oil. Flatten them slightly with the back of a spoon. Cook them for 3 minutes until a deep golden color, then flip them carefully. And cook for 2 minutes more. Drain them on some kitchen paper. Keep them warm in a low oven. Serve with sour cream or applesauce. Gnocchi. Boil 1 kilogram of floury potatoes until tender. Drain them well and let them steam dry for 5 minutes in the colander. Push the cooked potates through a potato ricer onto a wooden board. Spread gently into an even layer. Let this cool completely. Make a well in the center. Sprinkle 200 grams of 00 flour over the potatoes. Crack 1 egg yolk into the well. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Bring the dough together with a fork. Then use your hands. Knead very gently for 1 minute, no more. The dough should be soft but not sticky. Divide into 4 pieces. Roll each into a 2 centimeter thick rope. Then cut the rope into 2 centimeter pillows. Roll each gnocchi down the back of a fork for ridges, or leave smooth. Place the gnocchi on a floured tray. Do not pile them up. Bring a large pot of salted water to a rolling boil. Add the gnocchi in batches. Watch as they sink, then float. Cook them for 1 minute more after floating. Lift them out with a slotted spoon. Toss immediately with butter and sage, or a simple tomato sauce. Potato leek gratin. Preheat the oven to 160 degrees Celsius. Butter a 2-liter gratin dish generously. Peel 1 kilogram of waxy potatoes. Slice them into 3 millimeters thicknesses using a mandolin or sharp knife. Place the slices immediately in a bowl of cold water. Clean 3 large leeks. Slice them thinly into half rings. Wash the slices thoroughly in large bowl of water as sand hides in layers. Drain well. Dry the potatoes. Layer 1/3 in the gratin dish. Season lightly with salt and pepper. Scatter 1/3 of the leeks over the potatoes. Repeat in layers. Pour 500 ml of double cream over everything, pressing down gently so the potatoes submerge. Sprinkle 50 grams of grated Gruyere cheese evenly over top. Bake for 1.5 hours until golden and bubbling. The potatoes should be tender when pierced. Rest for 10 minutes before serving. Simple peasant stew. Find your largest stew pot. Place it over a low heat. Measure 2 tablespoons of olive oil into the pot. Peel 1 large onion. Dice it finely. Add it to the oil. Cook the onion for 5 minutes until it is translucent. Peel 2 carrots. Cut them into 2 centimeter chunks. Add them to the pot. Peel 800 grams of potatoes. Cut them into large 4 centimeter chunks. Add them to the vegetables. Pour in 1.5 liters of vegetable stock. Add 2 bay leaves, 2 sprigs of thyme, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Bring to a gentle simmer. Cover the pot partially. Cook for 30 minutes until the potatoes are nearly tender. Add 200 grams of chopped cabbage or kale. Cook it all for 10 minutes more. Taste. Add more salt if needed. Remove the herb stalks, then ladle the soup into deep bowls and serve with crusty bread. Boiled new potatoes with mint. Take 1 kilogram of tiny new potatoes, smaller than the size of golf balls. Wash them under cold water. Scrape them gently with a knife to remove their thin skins. No need to peel them completely. Place them in a saucepan. Cover the potatoes with cold water by 2 centimeters. Add 1 tablespoon of salt. Bring to a boil over high heat. Then reduce to a gentle simmer. Cook for 12 to 15 minutes until a knife pieces them easily. While they are cooking, warm 50 grams of butter in small pan. Strip the leaves from 3 sprigs of fresh mint. Chop the mint finely and stir into the butter off the heat. Drain the potatoes well. Return them to the warm pan. Shake them over low heat for 1 minute to dry. Pour the mint butter over the potatoes. Turn gently to coat. Then sprinkle with sea salt flakes. Serve immediately in a warm dish. Potato flatbreads. Measure 200 grams of plain flour into a bowl. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Grate 150 grams of cold boiled potato finely. Squeeze dry in a clean cloth. Add this to the flour. Pour in 100 ml of warm water. Mix to a soft dough. Turn onto a floured surface and knead for 3 minutes until smooth. Divide into 6 pieces. Roll each into a 15 centimeter circle, 3 millimeters thick. Heat a heavy frying pan over a medium-high heat. No oil is needed. Cook each flatbread for 1 minute until bubbles appear. Flip then cook for 45 seconds more. Wrap them in a clean cloth to keep soft until they are all cooked and you are ready to eat them. Creamy potato and garlic soup. Find a heaviest soup pot. Place it over a low heat. Measure 25 grams of butter into the pot. Let it melt slowly until it's just foaming. Peel 1 large onion. Dice it finely and add to the melted butter. Cook the onion gently for 8 minutes until soft and translucent. Peel 12 garlic cloves but leave them whole. Add them to the onions. Cook them for 2 minutes more until fragrant but not browned. Peel 800 grams of floury potatoes. Cut them into 2 centimeter chunks. Add them to the pot. Stir into coat with the butter. Cook for 3 minutes. Pour in 1.5 liters of vegetable stock. Add in 2 bay leaves. Bring it all to a gentle simmer. Cover the pot partially and cook for 25 minutes until the potatoes are completely tender. Remove the bay leaves. Take a stick blender and blend the soup until silky smooth. Add 200 ml of double cream. Warm gently through for 5 minutes. Season with 1 teaspoon of salt and some white pepper. Rest it for 30 minutes. The flavors will marry perfectly. Then ladle into warm bowls. Drizzle with cream and serve with crusty bread. Soft potato fritters. Grate 500 grams potatoes coarsely. Squeeze until they are extremely dry in a clean cloth. Mix 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of chopped chives. Heat some oil 1 centimeter deep in a frying pan. Drop tablespoons of the mixture into the oil. Flatten them slightly. Fry for 3 minutes until golden on each side. Drain on some paper towel and serve with some sour cream. Rustic potato and herb bake. Preheat the oven to 160 degrees Celsius. Find a large gratin dish. Butter it generously. Peel 1.2 kilograms of waxy potatoes. Slice to 4 millimeters thicknesses using a knife or mandolin. Place the slices immediately into cold water. Peel 2 onions. Slice into thin rings and finely chop 3 tablespoons each of fresh parsley, thyme, rosemary. Dry the potatoes well. Layer 1/3 in the dish. Season with salt and pepper. Scatter with 1/3 of the onions and herbs. Repeat in layers. Pour 400 ml of double cream over everything. Press down gently. Cover tightly with foil. Bake for 1 hour. Then remove the foil and bake for 30 minutes more until golden and bubbling. Rest for 15 minutes. Serve it warm from the dish. Slow simmer potato and onion stew. Find largest stew pot. Place it over low heat. Measure in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Peel 4 large onions. Slice them into thin half-moon rings. Add the onion to the oil. Cook for 15 minutes until meltingly soft, stirring occasionally. Peel 1 kilogram of potatoes. Cut into 4-centimeter chunks. Add the potatoes to the onions and cook for 5 minutes. Pour in 1.5 liters of vegetable stock. Add 2 bay leaves, 2 teaspoons of dried thyme, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Bring to the barest simmer. Cover completely and cook for 45 minutes until the potatoes are nearly dissolved. Remove the bay leaves. Mash a few potatoes against the pot side for added thickness. Taste the seasoning and adjust as necessary. Ladle into deep bowls. Sprinkle with some chopped parsley and serve with bread to soak up the juices. Soft potato dumplings. Boil 800 grams of floury potatoes until tender. Drain them and then steam them dry for 5 minutes in a colander. Push the cooked potatoes through a ricer onto a wooden board. Let this cool completely. Make a well in the center. Sprinkle 200 grams of plain flour around the potatoes. Crack 1 egg into the well. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Bring it all together gently with a fork, then use your hands. Knead for 30 seconds only until just smooth. Divide this dough into 4 pieces. Roll each into a 3-centimeter rope. Cut them into 3-centimeter pieces and roll lightly over fork tines. Bring a large pot of salted water to a gentle simmer. Add the dumplings in batches. Cook them until they are floating plus 1 minute more. Lift them out with a slotted spoon. Toss them gently with some butter. Serve with a stew gravy. Potato and cheese croquettes. Boil 750 grams of floury potatoes until tender. Drain, let them steam dry. Put them through a ricer into a bowl and allow to cool. Finally, grate 100 grams of mature cheddar and finely chop 2 tablespoons of parsley. Add the cheese, parsley, 1 beaten egg, 1 teaspoon salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper to the warm potatoes. Mix through thoroughly. Chill for 1 hour. Beat 1 egg in a bowl and place 100 grams of breadcrumbs in a shallow dish. Form the chilled mixture into 6-centimeter cylinders. Dip each in the egg, then into the breadcrumbs and chill for 30 minutes. Heat 200 ml of vegetable oil in a deep frying pan to 180 degrees Celsius. Fry the croquettes for 3 minutes per side until golden. Drain on some paper towels. Serve them hot with mustard or chutney. Gentle potato and carrot mash. Peel 600 grams of floury potatoes. Cut them into large chunks. Peel 400 grams of carrots. Cut them into the same size. Place both in a large pot. Cover cold water by 5 centimeters. Add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Simmer gently for 25 minutes until both are completely tender. Drain them well, then let them steam dry for 2 minutes. Return them to the warm pot. Mash them thoroughly with a potato masher until smooth. Warm 120 ml milk with 40 grams butter. Pour this slowly into the mash, beating continuously. Season generously with salt and white pepper. Grate fresh nutmeg over top. Spoon into a warm dish. Serve beside roast meats. Potato and cabbage skillet. Melt 30 grams of butter in a large frying pan over a medium heat. Peel and dice 600 grams of potatoes into 1 centimeter cubes. Add them to the pan. Cook the potato undisturbed for 8 minutes until golden. Shred 400 grams of Savoy cabbage finely. Add to the pan. Stir the cabbage through the potatoes. Cook for 5 minutes. Pour in 150 ml of vegetable stock. Season with salt and pepper. Cover with a lid and cook for 12 minutes until the cabbage is tender. Uncover and cook for 5 minutes more until all the liquid has evaporated and the potatoes are crisp. Stir through 1 tablespoon of chopped parsley. Serve it hot from the pan. Old-fashioned scalloped potatoes. Preheat the oven to 160 degrees Celsius. Butter a 2-liter baking dish. Peel 1.2 kilograms of waxy potatoes. Slice them 3 millimeters thick and place into some cold water. Finely slice 1 large onion. Dry the potatoes well. Layer 1/3 in the dish. Season with salt and pepper. Add 1/3 of the onion. Repeat the layers. Pour 600 ml of whole milk over the potatoes and onion, and then dot 30 grams of butter across top. Cover with foil and bake for 1.5 hours. Then remove the foil and bake for another 30 minutes until golden and bubbling. Rest for 20 minutes. The potatoes should be tender and the sauce thick. Simple potato and butter skillet. Melt 40 grams of butter in a large frying pan over a medium heat until the butter is foaming. Cut 700 grams of cold boiled potatoes into 1.5 centimeter slices. Add them to the pan in a single layer. Cook the slices undisturbed for 6 minutes until they are a deep golden color. Sprinkle with 1 teaspoon of salt. Turn them carefully and cook for 5 minutes more. Then add 1 teaspoon of chopped thyme. Push the potatoes to the sides of the pan. Crack 2 eggs into the center. Then cover with a lid and cook the eggs for 3 minutes until the whites are set. Serve this dish from the pan. The potatoes should be crisp and the eggs soft. Soft potato rolls. Measure 400 grams of bread flour into a bowl. Add 1.5 teaspoons OD salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Finally grate 200 grams of cold boiled potato. Squeeze the potato dry and add to the flour. Sprinkle in 7 grams instant yeast. Add 250 ml of warm milk and 30 ml of olive oil. Mix into a soft dough, then knead for 8 minutes until smooth. Place into an oiled bowl. Cover with a tea towel and then let it rise for 1 hour until the dough has doubled. Divide into 12 pieces. Shape into soft rolls and then place close together on a parchment tray. Cover again and then let it rise for 45 minutes. Brush with milk and then bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes until golden. Potato and leek chowder. Melt 30 grams of butter in a heavy pot. Slice 3 leeks thinly and wash them thoroughly to remove any grit or sand. Cook them for 10 minutes until they are soft. Peel 500 grams of potatoes. Dice them into 2 centimeter cubes. Add the potatoes to the leeks and cook them for 5 minutes. Pour in 1 liter of milk, 300 ml of stock, and add 2 bay leaves. Simmer gently for 25 minutes. Remove the bay leaf. Mash half the cooked potatoes against the pot side. Add 100 ml of cream. Chop in 3 rashers of crisp bacon and stir through. Taste the chowder and season as necessary. Ladle into bowls and serve with crusty bread. Herb roasted baby potatoes. Preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Wash 1 kilogram of baby potatoes and halve them lengthways. Toss them into a bowl with 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 teaspoons of chopped rosemary, 2 teaspoons of chopped thyme, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Place them in a single layer in a roasting tin. Roast them for 40 minutes, turning them halfway. When they are golden crisp on the outside and tender within, squeeze some lemon over them to serve. Potato and barley soup. In a large pot, saute 1 diced onion and 2 diced carrots in 2 tablespoons of oil for 8 minutes. Add 150 grams of pearl barley and stir for 2 minutes. Peel and dice 600 grams of potatoes and add to the pot with 1.5 liters of stock and 2 bay leaves. Simmer for 45 minutes until the barley tender. Season to taste and remove the bay leaf. Serve with some lovely bread. Potato and spinach curry. Heat 2 tablespoons of oil and fry 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds for 30 seconds. Add 1 chopped onion and cook until golden, and then add 2 teaspoons ginger garlic paste. Add 500 grams of diced potatoes, 200 grams of spinach, 400 ml coconut milk, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and some salt. Simmer for 25 minutes until the flavors meld gently. Serve with rice and some yogurt. Potato and cheese stuffed flatbreads. Make the dough with 300 grams of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 150 ml of water. Knead the dough for 5 minutes and then let it rest for 30 minutes. Mash 200 grams of boiled potato with 100 grams of grated cheese, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, and some salt to taste. Divide the dough into 6 balls. Roll them 15 centimeter circles. Place 2 tablespoons of the filling into the center. Then fold carefully and seal. Roll them gently and cook in a dry hot pan for 2 minutes on each side. Brush with some butter and serve. Creamy potato and mushroom stew. Saute 300 grams of sliced mushrooms and 1 onion in 25 grams butter for 10 minutes in a large pot. Add 600 grams diced potatoes, 1 liter stock, 2 times sprigs, and simmer for 25 minutes. Remove the thyme and add 200 ml of cream. Simmer for a further 5 minutes. Season to taste and serve. Slow-bake jacket potatoes. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius and wash 4 large baking potatoes. Prick them deeply with a fork. Rub their skins with olive oil and sprinkle them with sea salt. Place the potatoes directly onto an oven rack. Bake for 1.5 hours until the skins are crisp and the insides are fluffy. Split the potatoes in half. Fluff the insides with a fork. Add butter, sour cream, and chives. Potato and corn soup. Saute 1 chopped onion and 2 chopped celery sticks in 25 grams of butter for 8 minutes in a large pot. Add 500 grams of diced potatoes, 300 grams of corn kernels, and 1.2 liters of stock. Simmer for 25 minutes. Take out half the soup and blend it until it is smooth, and then return it to the pot to thicken. Add 150 ml of cream and season to taste. Ladle into bowls and serve with crusty bread. Potato and parsley salad. Boil 800 grams of chopped waxy potatoes until tender. Cool them slightly. Whisk 4 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of salt, and some pepper. Pour this over the warm potatoes. Toss the potatoes gently. Chop a large handful parsley. Mix it through the potatoes. Rest for 30 minutes until the flavors marry perfectly. These potato kitchen rituals wait patiently for hands that know their rhythms. Peel, wash, chop, simmer, mash, drain, season, serve. Each pot steams reliably. Each bowl fills steadily. Each knife moves through familiar curves. Tomorrow's potatoes rest in darkness. Tonight's hands rest when bowls empty. Somewhere between tradition and today, potatoes settle into the familiar rhythm of home kitchens, not as grand centerpieces, but as the steady presence that makes other foods possible, that fills plates without asking for thanks, that waits patiently in drawers and cellars for hands to find it. In modern homes, potatoes appear most honestly at dinner. A mother reaches for the vegetable drawer, pulls out a handful of tubers, some smooth, some nubbly, all dependable. The peeler moves steadily around curves, skin spiraling into the sink. Knife cuts even chunks. Pot fills with cold water. Salt scatters across surface. Lid settles. The kitchen fills with that unmistakable starch-thickened steam, the sound of gentle bubbling, the faint earthiness that says supper. Children recognize this rhythm before they understand words. The pot means dinner soon. Steam means bowls warming. Bubbling means stories around table. Even when menus change, when trends bring quinoa or cauliflower rice, the potato stays, boiled beside roast chicken, mashed under gravy, roasted crisp with rosemary and garlic. It anchors the plate, catches juices, soaks up sauces. Weeknight meals lean on potato simplicity hardest. After long days, complex recipes feel distant. But potatoes never demand much. Chop an onion, cube the tubers, simmer with stock and herbs. 30 minutes later, soup fills bowls, bread waits beside, or slice cold leftovers into frying pan with butter and onion. Home fries it crisp while everyone showers. No recipe needed, just memory and heat. Comfort lives in these repetitions. Mashed potatoes appear through childhood, lumpy at first, then smooth, then perfect. Jacket potatoes mark after-school hunger, foil-wrapped, waiting in cooling oven, butter melting into waiting fork holes. Chips come hot from local shops, wrapped in paper, salt clinging to fingers. Each form carries different nostalgia. Grandmother's mash that tasted of milk and safety, father's roast potatoes that crackled under teeth, mother's potato cakes made from Friday's leftovers. Familiar smells weave strongest memories. The particular scent of potato peelings, clean, slightly sweet, faintly earthy, belongs only to home kitchens. Steam carrying starch through hallway calls everyone wordlessly. Browning butter meeting sliced potatoes fills air with promise. No other vegetable smells so steadily of supper. Family meals circle potatoes naturally. Holidays demand them. Thanksgiving mashed mountains. Christmas roast potatoes competing with goose fat. Easter lamb cradled by creamy pom puree. Sunday dinners elevate them. Dauphinoise bubbling golden beside beef. Carl Cannon greening up St. Patrick's Day table. Yet weekday meals love them more honestly. Plain boiled with meat and 2 veg. the dinner of working families everywhere. Simplicity defines potato comfort most deeply. No special equipment needed. No exotic ingredients. One knife, one pot, one bowl. Children learn cooking here first. Peeling their first potato feels like graduation. Washing new potatoes under tap teaches clean from dirty. Boiling teaches doneness by feel. Every kitchen has potato stories. The time mash went lumpy. The perfect roast batch. The soup that saved soup night. Nostalgia gathers thickest around potato leftovers. Cold-boiled potatoes sliced for breakfast frying pan. Baked jackets stuffed tomorrow with cheese and beans. Mash formed into patties. Egg washed. Breadcrumbed. Fried golden for tea. Soup frozen in portions for rushed weeks. Potato scraps fed to chickens or compost. Nothing demands to be perfect. Everything finds purpose. Modern life speeds past, but potato time moves differently. Drawer to pot takes 5 minutes. Simmering asks 20. Mashing takes steady arms and patience. Eating asks only hunger. In rushed evenings, this steadiness comforts most. One reliable thing amid schedules and screens. Takeaway shops know this too. Fish and chips wrap Friday comfort. Hot, salty, newspaper printed. Jacket potato stalls line British high streets. Cheese and beans bubbling over crisp skins. Every country claims potato fast food. Poutine in Canada. German currywurst MIT pommes. Spanish tortilla slices from corner bars. Yet home versions taste deeper, carry more memory. Even solo meals find potato consolation. Single jacket spinning in microwave. Bowl of instant mash with tin tuna. Chips from freezer. Oven crisped while showering. Late night baked potato with whatever's left in fridge. Potatoes meet loneliness without fanfare. Warm, filling, asking nothing back. Hospital trays carry potato reliability. School dinners lean on mash and chips. Care home plates hold boiled chunks beside soft meats. Institutional cooking trusts potatoes because they deliver bulk nutrition, easy preparation, universal appeal. No allergies complicate them much. No textures offend. Always comforting, always enough. Through apartment blocks and suburban homes. Through workdays and weekends. Through childhood and age, potatoes remain the kitchen's quiet constant. Drawer weights filled. Peeler weights sharpened. Pot weights ready. Children grow learning its rhythms. Parents age knowing its shortcuts. Grandparents smile at its familiarity. The smell of simmering potatoes drifts through open windows summer evenings. Steam clouds bathroom mirrors before school. Golden roast trays perfume Sunday afternoons. Each scent carries generations. Each gesture repeats history. Picture now an ordinary kitchen. Drawer opening, peeler circling, knife chopping, pot steaming. Family moves around this center without thinking. Bowls warm on counter. Spoons wait in drawer. Another dinner approaches. Another day ends fed. Potatoes keep their ancient promise. Simple, steady, here when needed. As our time with potatoes draws softly toward its close, let all these stories settle around you like soil after gentle rain, even undisturbed, holding everything that came before. From high Indian terraces where hands first found tubers hiding beneath cold earth, through European winters where potatoes fill bowls when nothing else could, through kitchens where peelers circle curves and pot steam reliably, the potato has carried a single, quiet promise across centuries and continents. I am here. I wait beneath. I will fill your hands when you need me. No need now to hold any details close. No need to remember varieties or cooking times, harvest rhythms or storage cellars. Let the images drift. Spades lifting pale treasure from dark soil. Steam thickening winter air. Knives paring thin skins. Families gathered around bubbling pots. Let them fade into background hum, like distant kitchen sounds heard through half sleep. Potatoes teach patience better than most foods. They grow unseen through summer, hidden while green tops sway above. They wait through winter in cool darkness, sprouting only when spring calls. They simmer steadily, skin splitting at their own pace. They comfort without demanding thanks. Tonight, you can borrow that same patience. Your body knows how already. Breath lengthening, shoulders softening, thoughts slowing like cooling mash left under cloth. Nothing remains to be done. Nothing needs solving or remembering. The stories complete themselves. Somewhere in the distance of imagination, picture now a single potato resting complete stillness. Soil holds it gently. Cool darkness wraps it safely. No hurry to grow, no need to be lifted. Just perfect, quiet being, storing warmth from last summer's sun, waiting faithfully for whatever hands might find it one day. Gratitude belongs here, too, not loud or formal, but soft as potato steam touching ceiling. Thank you for resting with these stories tonight. Thank you for letting potatoes fill this time. Humble tubers carrying centuries through simple gestures. If sleep waits nearby, let it come. If wakefulness lingers, let that be enough. Either way, potatoes understand. They've waited through millennia of dark winters, through empty cellars, through thin days. They'll wait through your night as well.